Hey guys, hope you're doing great. Brandon here, Wisconsin Bourbon Bros, and I'm so excited to bring you my thoughts on Old Forester Single Barrel. Buckle up. Before we jump into the nose, start talking flavors and profile, let's talk a little bit about the bottle itself. So, commonly referred to as the Blue Label, this Old Forester product, obviously Brown-Forman, Louisville, Kentucky, comes in as a barrel strength, uncut, unfiltered, and boasts a whopping 130.5 proof. As I understand it, that's actually the low end of the single barrel iterations they release. They can get all the way up to 135 proof, but this one comes in at 130.5, still piping hot. Non-age stated product, but what they do tell you is that it came out of warehouse L, floor 3s. What jumps off the page right away is that color. That is just a beautiful golden amber color. It's on the darker side of the spectrum. All right, enough about the bottle. Let's jump into the nose and see what we're working with. It's a great start for this bottle. I'm picking up a really creamy sweetness right on the front end here. Maybe some dark stone fruit, a dark cherry, a little bit of anise perhaps, kind of that licorice scent on the back bit, kind of like an oatmeal finish. Right off the bat, I'm impressed. Looking forward to taking a sip here. I like what we're working with on the palate here. The nose was amazing. The palate is pretty good. It's not quite the same level, but it is pretty nice, and I like what we've got going on here. So there's two standout flavors I'm picking up right away. I'm picking up sweet and I'm picking up nutty. I would probably liken it to like those ballpark pecans, you know, the honey roasted ones that you can't resist when you walk by because the aromas are so good. Yeah, a little bit of that going on here on the front end of the palate. In the mid-mouth, a little bit of bitterness kind of starts to creep in. And on the back end, I'm definitely getting a nice savory leather note. So you kind of go from sweet to bitter to, we'll call it savory on the back end. Kind of takes you for the full ride. Again, it's good. It's not great. Not quite what I was expecting with that really nice nose prior to. Okay, so let's talk about the finish. This is chewy. It's got a nice velvety texture, coats the tongue very, very well. I'll be honest, I was expecting heat, and more heat. And while it did deliver the heat, it also delivered a little extra flavor that I wasn't expecting. I got a nice peppery finish, as well as like a burnt kind of toffee bitterness, which was really nice on the very back end here. Overall, a really nice finish. All right, let's run it back. We had a really robust, full flavored nose profile. The palate was good, it wasn't great, had some complexity to it, a little bit of nuance, but never quite punched the way we would hope it would, being that this is such a hot whiskey. The finish kind of brought it back for me, I'll be honest. It had a really great coat, beautiful mouthfeel, and a little extra flavor that I wasn't expecting. Overall, this is a pretty good bourbon. Now, when you're talking in that north of $85 up to $115 price tag, I don't know that it's that good. If the palate had a little more intensity, right? Let's match the heat with some treat. Let's bring that intensity of the flavor profile up to match the heat of the whiskey itself. I think we're working with a gem. But overall, I give it like a B. It was a nice bottle. I don't regret drinking it. It was quite good. Would I recommend it? Probably not. I say if you had the choice between this and maybe a Prohibition style, the 1920, or even the 1910, I would probably steer you towards either of those batch products. Roasted ballpark pecans.